Hello everyone, welcome to my channel The English Village. Today our topic is adjectives, but before discussing the definition and the various examples of adjectives, let's have a little fun and find out some adjectives in two examples. Let's have a look at the first example. They live in a beautiful house. Can you find an adjective in this sentence? What do you think beautiful this word is telling you? Is this telling us about a house, the speciality, the quality of the house? Yes, so it is an adjective. When a word tells you the speciality of a noun or a pronoun is called adjective. Let's have a look at an example. He is an old man. What do you think the word old is telling you? Is it telling us about the age of a man? Yes. So here, old is an adjective and it is qualifying the noun man. So the first example is an example where it is telling us about an object, the speciality of an object. The second example is telling us about a person. Let's discuss the question, what is an adjective? Let's have a look at the definition. Basically, an adjective is a describing word. An adjective describes, modifies, or gives more information about a noun or a pronoun. Basically, it tells us about the speciality and the quality of a noun or a pronoun. Let's have examples of adjectives. Big, interesting, excited, happy, green, young, wooden, crazy, tree. Now, let's have a look at some example sentences. The little girl had a pink hat. She is very hardworking girl. Can you find some adjectives in these two sentences? I'm pretty sure you can. Let's have a look. The little girl had a pink hat. Now, the word little is telling us about the noun girl. So it is an adjective. Pink is telling us about hat, the color of the hat. So it is an adjective. Hardworking is telling us about the quality of a girl. So girl is a noun. So hardworking is an adjective. Little, pink, hardworking. We found three adjectives. Let's discuss about the position of the adjectives. Let's have a look. We have two different types of positions for placing an adjective in a sentence. First is attributive, second is predicative. We will discuss one by looking at the examples so that we can understand both of them clearly. Let's have a look at the first definition, attributive. These adjectives are positioned before the noun that they describe, meaning they qualify the nouns placed after them. Let's have a look at the example sentences. They had an incredible experience. In this sentence, experience is a noun and incredible is qualifying or modifying this experience word, this noun. So it is an adjective. Have you noticed incredible adjective has been placed before the noun experience? Let's go back to the definition of predicative. If a linking verb such as be or seem is used, the adjective becomes predicative and can be placed after the noun. So basically, predicative adjectives comes after the noun if these verbs are used. Let's have a look at example sentences. Robert seems sick. Have you noticed the adjective sick has been placed after the verb, linking verb seems? So here, this adjective is in a predicative position. The box seems heavy. The ribbon is yellow. In this sentence, yellow adjective has been placed after the be form of verb in a present is. The food is delicious. So sick, heavy, yellow, delicious, all these adjectives has been placed after the linking verb be or seem. Thus, they are in a predicative position. Let's have a look at this sentence. The soft teddy bear is also fluffy. Now, in this sentence, we have both positions of the adjectives. Soft is coming before the noun teddy bear. So soft adjective is qualifying the noun teddy bear and it comes before, so it is in an attributive position. Fluffy is an adjective and it comes after be form of verb in present, that is in this sentence. So we can say fluffy is in a predicative position. We have two types of adjectives. Let's have a look at them. First is an ing adjectives. Second is an ed adjectives. Let's have a look at the definition. An ing adjectives describe the characteristics of a person, a thing, or a situation. It causes a feeling. So basically, an ing adjectives are called a cause, a reason. Let's have a look at the definition of an ed adjectives. An ed adjective describe a feeling or an emotion. It is how we feel about something. It shows an effect or a result of a cause. So basically, an ed adjective is a result, an effect. Let's have some examples to have these definitions clear in our minds. First, your science lecture was so inspiring. So inspiring is an ing adjective. It is telling us about the characteristic of a lecture, a science lecture. Second sentence, I was so inspired to try some new methods. So here, inspired is an ed adjective because it is telling us or describing a feeling. Now, the first sentence is telling that the science lecture caused that feeling of being inspired. In the second sentence, we have seen that the person was inspired. That shows an effect or a result of that cause. So science lecture is a cause and being inspired is a result of that cause. Let's have a look at another example sentences. I am bored. So here in this sentence, it is showing us the result, an effect of a cause. Let's find out the cause. What is the cause of me being bored? These books are boring. So here is the cause. Because the books are so boring, I am bored. So being bored is an effect, is a result that has been caused by boring books. Let's have another example. My job is tiring, so I am tired. Have you noticed which one is the cause and which one is the result? Yes, job, the tiring job is a cause. Being tired is a result of that cause. We have another types of adjectives called compound adjectives. Let's have a look at the definition. A compound adjective is formed when two or more adjectives are joined to modify the same noun. These terms should be hyphenated to avoid confusion. Let's have some example sentences. Daniel is a part-time worker. Part-time is a compound adjective since it is formed with the help of two adjectives, part and time. Part-time compound adjective is modifying the noun worker. Let's have a look at another sentence. Beware of the green-eyed monster. Green-eyed is a compound adjective. It is formed with the help of two adjectives, green and eyed. And green-eyed compound adjective is modifying the noun monster. Number 3, she adopted a 2-year-old cat. 2-year-old is a compound adjective and it is formed with the help of three adjectives, 2, year, old. And this compound adjective is modifying the noun cat. So we have learned that compound adjectives could be two or more adjectives formation. Adjectives have three forms based on a degree of some quality. A higher degree of some quality, the highest degree of some quality. We have positive adjectives, comparative adjectives, superlative adjectives. Let's have a look at the definition of positive adjectives first. So they are used where there are no differences between the two compared things or persons. To form the positive, we use the word as before and after the positive form of the adjective. In order to clarify this definition, what do we mean by as, before and after? Let's have a look at some examples. Danny is as smart as Philip. In this sentence, we are comparing two persons, Danny and Philip. We can compare two equal persons or thing. We can compare two unequal persons or things. So here, smart is an adjective, and this quality has been compared for two persons, Danny and Philip. So we are using as, then we use that adjective, then again we use the same word as. Next example, she is as beautiful as her older sister. So we are comparing two people in this sentence. As, then comes the adjective, then comes as again after that positive form of the adjective. So here we are comparing two equal persons, the quality of two equal persons. Example number 3, Daniel is not as smart as Philip. So if you want to make a negative, not will come before as, and the rest of the structure is the same. Number 4, she is not as beautiful as her older sister. Similarly, not comes before this structure. Let's discuss comparative adjectives. Let's have a look at the definition. When two objects or persons are being compared, the comparative form of the adjective is used. The comparative adjective can be formed in two ways. First, by adding er or ier to the positive form of the adjective. Number 2, by adding the word more before the adjective. Don't forget to use the word then, since we are making comparison. Let's have a look at some examples. My essay is longer than yours. So here we are making comparison between two essays. Long is an adjective, and we are using er to make a comparative form longer. Then we use the word then to make comparison. Number 2, my friend is nicer than your friend. Nice is an adjective, positive form. In order to make comparative, since we are comparing two people, we are using er as a suffix. Nice, then we add nicer to make a comparative form of an adjective. Then we use the word then to make comparison. Number 3, my sister is prettier than your sister. Pretty is an adjective, positive form. In order to make a comparative form, we use IER. Now, why we use IER in this case? All the adjectives ending with Y have this comparative form. We use IER with those positive forms of adjective ending with Y. Number 4, she is more beautiful than her sister. Now here we are comparing two people. Beautiful is an adjective, positive form, but we are not using ER, we are not using IER. We are using more before that adjective. The reason is when we have an adjective which has more than two or more than two syllables, we use more instead of er and ier. And then we use the word then to make comparison. Next example, my mom is a better cook than your mom. This form of adjective is comparative adjective, but it is an exception. It doesn't come under the rule er, ier, or more. So it is called irregular comparative form, or we can also say irregular adjectives. So I have given you examples of each and every form so that you can understand the different forms of comparative adjectives. Let's discuss the third type, superlative adjectives. Let's have a look at the definition. When more than two objects or persons are being compared, or the comparison is made with all, the superlative form of the adjective is used. The superlative adjective can be formed in two ways. First, by adding iest or est to the positive form of the adjective. Number two, by adding the word most before the adjective. Do not forget to use the before all forms of superlative adjective. And we also use of or in some cases. Let's have a look at some example sentences. My book is the longest of all these books. So here, my book is being compared to all the books. So we are going to use the superlative form of adjective. Long is the positive form of adjective, and we have to make superlative form. So we use est. We add est to the positive form of adjective long, and then we form superlative form of adjective longest. And we have used the before this superlative adjective. Number two, my friend is the nicest in the class. Nice is a positive form of the adjective. We add est to this positive form to make superlative form of adjective. And have you noticed we have used the before these superlative adjectives in both the sentences? Have you noticed long and nice are adjectives which has only one syllable. That means we can pronounce it with one go. So the small adjectives or one syllable adjectives take est. Number three, my sister is the prettiest. Have you remembered from the comparative adjectives? Pretty, y ending. So all the adjectives which has y ending takes iest. So we have superlative form of adjective here, prettiest. We add iest to the positive form of adjective pretty. Number four, she is the most beautiful girl. Beautiful is a positive form of adjective, but we cannot form superlative by ending est or iest. We cannot say beautifulest. So we have to use most before this positive form. Beautiful has more than two syllables. So any word which has two or more than two syllables, we use most. Next example, My mom is the best cook. Remember better in a comparative form? So best in a superlative form. It's an example of irregular adjective. We can also say an example of irregular superlative form of adjective. I have given different examples of superlative adjectives so that they are cleared in your minds. Let's have a look at some exceptions. Irregular adjectives. Positive, comparative, superlative. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Little, less, least. Much, many, some. All would take, more, most. After learning about adjectives and their different forms and types, let's have a look at all those types and forms together. Her hair is short. Short is a regular adjective. Her hair is as short as my hair. Positive adjective. Making comparison with as, adjective then as. Her hair is shorter than my hair. Comparative adjective. Short plus er. And then we used the word then for making comparison. Her hair is the shortest it has never been. We have used the before superlative adjective shortest. Short is a positive form and we have added est to make it superlative. Let's have another examples. My dog might be ugly. So these are examples with adjectives ending with y. Ugly. Simple regular adjective. Your dog is not as ugly as my dog. Positive adjectives. Making comparison with as. My dog is uglier than your dog. Ugly ending with y. In order to make comparative, we are using IER. Uglier. Then we have used the word then to make comparison. That's the ugliest dog I have ever seen. We have used the and then ugly is a positive form. In order to make superlative, we have used IEST, ugliest. Some more examples. Your presentation was informative. My presentation was not as informative as your presentation. So informative is a word which has more than 2 syllables. So we cannot use ER, EST, IER, IEST. Remember the rules? We use more and most. Your presentation was more informative than my presentation. We have used the word more. That's the most informative presentation I have ever seen. We have used the, then we have used the word most, then the superlative form of adjective. That's all about adjectives. I hope you enjoyed learning adjectives. You have fun learning about all adjectives and their forms. If you have any doubt, any questions, leave your comment down below and I will get back to you to resolve them. Till then, have a good one and I will come back with more fun learning videos. Have a good day.